As many as two residents of the state's border town of Moreh were shot dead in neighbouring Myanmar today when they had apparently crossed the border to meet some friends. We have exclusive visuals coming in from Moreh in Manipur's Tengnopal district, where sensation prevails after two locals of the border town were shot dead in Myanmar. As per reports, the two Indian nationals who belong to the Tamil community of Moreh were shot dead at Tamu in Myanmar. The deceased have been identified as P. Mohan and M. Yanar. The duo was reportedly shot dead by a militia group formed by the Myanmarese army. One of the deceased used to be an auto driver in Moreh, while the other ran a small business. As the news of the killings broke out, people gathered at the Moreh Sunrise ground to receive their mortal remains. Meanwhile, family members of the deceased have filed a missing persons report at the Moreh police station. So indeed, a big news coming in from Moreh in Manipur at this point in time, viewers. As many as two residents of the border town were shot dead in neighbouring Myanmar today when they had apparently crossed the border to meet with some friends. We have exclusive visuals from Moreh in Manipur's Tengnopal district, where sensation now prevails after two locals of the town were shot dead in Myanmar. As per reports, the two Indian nationals who belong to the Tamil community of Moreh were shot dead at Tamu in Myanmar. The deceased have been identified as P. Mohan and M. Yanar. The duo were reportedly shot dead by a militia group formed by the Myanmarese army. One of the deceased used to be an auto driver in Moreh, while the other ran a small business. As news of the killings broke out, people gathered at the Moreh Sunrise ground to receive the mortal remains. Meanwhile, family members of the deceased have filed a missing persons report at the Moreh police station. All right, and to bring us all the latest updates, I'm being joined over the phone line by our Chief of Bureau, Arindam Das. Arindam, any updates if the bodies have arrived back in Moreh yet, Arindam?
Well, Jonas, sensation prevails in the border town of Moreh following the killing of these two Indian nationals in Myanmar. The incident has taken place at a place called Tamu, some 45 kilometers from the border town of Moreh inside Myanmar. These two youths have apparently gone there to meet their friends when they were shot dead from close range. Sources have confirmed to us that they have been shot dead by a militia group formed by Myanmar army, and that militia group is known as Pew Shaw Hite. And we have also tried to get confirmation as to when the bodies will be returned to India. But we have come to know that since heavy gun battle is underway right now between the Myanmar army and the People's Democratic Force, the handing over of the bodies cannot take place now. And in fact, the Indian side has been told that the bodies will probably be handed over tomorrow morning at a place called Panda, some 10 kilometers away from Moreh. But that is also not confirmed because heavy exchange of fire is going on between Myanmar army and People's Democratic Force at Panda. So unless the firing subsides, the handing over of dead bodies cannot take place. And right now, the border is closed. That's also been confirmed to us by top police sources. And since the border is closed, it is also a big question as to how these two youths from Moreh crossed over the border and went to Tamu, around 45 kilometers well inside Myanmar. But yes, they have been shot dead from close range. Looking at the visuals, it is clearly evident that they have been executed by firing from close range, and it has been done by the Pew Shaw Hite. It's a militia group formed by the Myanmar army. So right now, the family members have filed an FIR at Moreh police station. It's a missing report about these two youths. These two youths are Tamilians. That a big chunk of population resides in the Tamu area as well as in the Moreh area. They run business there, and they have been residing there for many decades, and they have been running business there. So in that connection, their movement is goes on in that area from Tamu to Moreh and Moreh to Tamu. But right now, since heavy exchange of fire is going on between the Myanmar army and the People's Democratic Force in inside Myanmar, both in Moreh as well as in Panda, where the handing over of the body is likely to take place tomorrow morning. Panda is placed around 10 kilometers away from Moreh. But right now, there is no confirmation as to whether the bodies will be handed over tomorrow morning, as heavy exchange of fire is underway between the Myanmar army and the People's Democratic Force in Myanmar.
Right, Arindam, any word from the government authorities of India at this point in time? Are they going to initiate any sort of action into this incident?
This incident has taken place inside Myanmar, so the jurisdiction doesn't fall in Manipur state government or in the jurisdiction of the Indian government. But talks are on through diplomatic channels to investigate the matter, and the efforts are right now on to bring back the bodies to India and hand it over to the family members, because the family members have filed missing complaints at Moreh police station, and in fact, they have been waiting at the sunrise ground in Moreh for the bodies after they have filed the missing complaints. In fact, there was some sort of education also that took place, because one of the deceased, he is an auto driver, the other is a businessman. So the Auto Drivers Association in Moreh also stays education at sunrise ground in Moreh. But since, as I had mentioned, that heavy exchange of fire is going on right now between Myanmar Army and the People's Democratic Force in Myanmar, both in Moreh as well as in Panda,
Right.
which is the place where the body is likely to be handed over.
Right, Arindam Das, thank you very much for joining us this evening and bringing us all of those latest details.